What is up, wrestling fans? This is Kayfabe Chronicles, and I am your host, JP. Well, it is Sunday night. It is 8 p.m. Central Time, so it is time for this week's live stream. What the heck happened at the AEW Press Conference, as well as a quick review of NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool. Lots of great stuff coming today, and it all starts right now. Hello, and welcome to the live stream. This is Kayfabe Chronicles, and I am your host, JP. If this is your first time here, please stick around for a little while. Partake in the chat room to the left-hand side of the screen. And if you guys like what you see, make sure to crush like, hit subscribe, and click the bell notification for whenever we go live. We always go live every single Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, except for pay-per-view nights, where we will always go on after the event to discuss the event. And we also go live Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time, immediately following NXT, to discuss the NXT show just right before. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to check out that Facebook page and that Twitter account. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you doing today? How was your weekend? Mine was actually pretty good. Worked all day, worked all night, just got home, ready to talk about some stuff. And don't you worry, I'll be mentioning our favorite lady today for sure. And I got my Disney cup. Alright, so let's just start off. Let's just get the ball rolling. Woo! What are we going to talk about? Let's start with something simple. Let's just talk about some Royal Rumble. That's right, Royal Rumble is coming up in about 2 and a little bit weeks. I'm super excited. I'm excited for the Royal Rumble itself and the Women's Royal Rumble. The matches, though, I'm a little... I talked last week already that I'm not too excited about AJ versus Daniel because I've seen it a billion times. As much as I want to see Becky versus Asuka, I don't get it. I'm going to talk about what I think is going to happen, which will probably shed a little bit of light. I don't know, that match really isn't doing it. The tag team match, we got The Bar taking on Shane and The Miz. I guess. I'm actually really excited for the Cruiserweight match. I think that one's going to be really good. Like I said, we got Hideo Itami. We got Kalisto. Yeah, whatever. Don't care about Kalisto. Of course, we got the Man. We got the Champ. We got Buddy. And we also got... who else do we got in the... Oh, Akira Tozawa's in that match. So, yeah, you know what? I really like the 4 of them. I think that match is going to be really good, but I'm also biased towards Cruiserweights. Yeah, the matches itself, I'm not really looking forward to. The Royal Rumble, for sure, I'm looking forward to. And, of course, we got Ronda taking on Sasha Banks. But I fully agree with you, Elizabeth. What can go 2 ways. And they're both pretty much the same outcome no matter what happens. A, Ronda Rousey costs Becky the match. Ronda beats up Carmella at number 30, takes her spot. Becky beats up Carmella at 30, takes her spot, wins the Royal Rumble, challenges Ronda. Vice versa. Becky costs Ronda the championship against Sasha Banks. Ronda finds a way into the Royal Rumble, wins, challenges Becky. So either way, I think that's going to happen. One of those 2 ladies is winning the Women's Royal Rumble for sure, therefore setting up their match at WrestleMania. Because we already know it's going to be Becky versus Ronda at WrestleMania for one of the belts. We don't know which one yet. But I think it's going to be... I think Ronda's going to cost Becky the match, and Becky's going to beat up Carmella. I don't see Carmella entering the Royal Rumble, because it's the fact that Carmella's already set at number 30. We already know Carmella's going to be number 30, so there's no surprise. The number 30... match can always, number 30 in the Royal Rumble is always like, oh, the big surprise, who's going to be number 30? And it's the fact that we already know that it's Carmella and R-Truth takes away all that pristine thing. So, there you go. Have somebody beat up Carmella and take their spot. There you go. There's the big surprise. I actually got into an argument with some guy on Twitter about this. No, man, that's not the rules. It doesn't happen. Stuff like that doesn't happen. I'm like, okay, so what about last year when Sami Zayn beat up Ty Dillinger and took his spot at the Royal Rumble? If you're in a title match, you can't be in the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns was in a title match 2 years ago, entered the Royal Rumble. Dolph Ziggler was in an IC title match, entered the Royal Rumble. Please, sir, please shed me with your knowledge even more. Please bestow upon me why the storyline that I said cannot and will not happen. And if it doesn't, okay, I'll admit I was wrong. But what I'm saying, I think, makes total the most amount of sense right now. But whatever. And Asuka versus Meiko WrestleMania begin. I don't see Meiko coming back though, as much as it breaks my heart. But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen for sure. I'm just a little sour with this year's Royal Rumble, the non-Rumble matches so far. I just really don't care about any of them. I don't know. Maybe it's just the lack of push and lack of build right now. Who knows? But super excited for both the Royal Rumbles. Those are going to be amazing as always. All right, so let's just jump on to really quick things. So last afternoon yesterday, but I didn't watch it until later on in the day because I had to work, was NXT UK, their debut takeover show, Blackpool. So I watched it when I got home from work. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I loved this freaking thing. I think it's gonna be Seth or Drew. I think Seth or Drew are going to win that men's Royal Rumble. They'll be the last two for sure. So, but let's just jump right back to this. Holy crap! Damn, was this such a good event? Like I said, I'm not gonna go into a full depth review. I just want to kind of talk about my quick things. Right up that opening match between Mustache Mountain and Gibson and Drake. Oh, what a way to open the show! Holy crap on a cracker was that match tight. I love Mustache Mountain. It just blows my mind every single time I watch Tyler Bate wrestle. I just can't grasp that he's only 20 years old. People that age should not be able to lift that much. He's so strong for his age. He looks great in the ring. He's super fun to watch, super agile, tells a great story in the ring, and the moves he does, it's just, I love the match. It's one of my favorite. I can't say matches of the year so far because the year just started. Definitely, it was the best match of the night in my opinion. But one of my favorite tag matches in the past little while. And yeah, I wanted Mustache Mountain to win so bad too. Like I said, they're so over with the crowd. I want to buy a Mustache Mountain shirt or the knee pads. I want to curve this bad boy just so I can sit there and do this. But speaking, the crowd was so freaking hot. The crowd was amazing. Chanting, screaming, singing songs. It made me proud to be a wrestling fan. That's how hot this crowd was. It's so weird when you go to other shows and the crowd's really. A crowd can make the show. A crowd can make or break a show. You can have the best match in the world, but if the crowd's not into it, you kind of lose sight of the match itself. But holy crap, the crowd in Blackpool yesterday, absolutely phenomenal. 2 thumbs way up to you guys and gals. You made the show even better than it was. Great job on you guys. I'm looking forward to future NXT UK events for sure. Very next match, Finn Balor, managed to kind of get his little one-off in there as a quick replacement. That was a real fun match. I really liked the next match, the hardcore match with Evans and Dave Mastiff. That one was super fun. I love Mastiff. Dave Mastiff is so cool. He's just a big, burly dude, and he just moves so fluently. Like I said, he does cartwheels, he does backflips. I even wrote on Twitter saying I would love to see a match between Keith Lee, Hansen, and Mastiff. Just to see 3 monster men just doing cartwheels and backflips the entire time. They wouldn't even hit each other. They would just flip and make it look so cool. That was a real fun match. Next match after that, Toni Storm managed to capture her first Women's UK Championship by defeating Rhea Ripley. I'm all for it. I really I love the Toni has a belt. Big fan of Toni Storm. It kind of just ultimately I see Rhea Ripley regaining it down the road sometime because I really think that a storyline with Tegan Nox coming back from injury and chasing the championship from Rhea Ripley, I believe, is in the books eventually down the road. But this was the right call for Toni to get the belt, especially with everything that's happened to her in the past as well. Plus, she's a damn good performer. Like I said, I think she's 22, 23-ish, around there. She looks like she's been wrestling for decades. She's absolutely fun to watch. Her interviews are great. Her style in the ring is really fun to watch. She's just super, super great to work. I'm really glad she got the belt. It still hurts me that she's going through all this personal stuff right now. I really hope that they find out like who did all this crap to her, and I really hope that she can come back even stronger, come back onto social media because the fans love her. I'm a big fan of hers. But with that, what's my next photo? There's been some rumors in regards to NXT. There's been some rumors in regards to NXT TakeOver UK. What? That's right. If you guys didn't see in the crowd, that's right. It was just absolutely phenomenal. It was Jazzy Gabber and Kaylee Ray were in the audience. So you know what that means. You know what that means. It's flat out just odds are they're coming up. Like I said, it's now 100%. Like I'm giving like a 99.9% that both of them are coming on. And there's also rumor that Viper, otherwise known as Piper Niven in the WWE universe, she's also in talks to get a NXT UK contract as well. If you guys remember the first Mae Young Classic, Piper was a huge fan favorite. Jazzy, huge fan favorite. Kaylee, we didn't get to see a lot from her, but she is very popular on the UK scene. So yeah, there is talks that all three of these fine in-ring performers are going to be joining the NXT UK scene in the next little while, which I am beyond stoked for. Big fan of Jazzy, big fan of Viper. Kaylee Ray, I want to see a little bit more about her. And exactly, like I said, it'd be weird for them just to show them if they weren't signed. So I'm bumping up to 100%. They're going to be there. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing Jazzy again. It's gonna be fun. Like these three ladies are super talented. I love watching them, especially Jazzy, because Jazzy's amazing, and she just seems just so fun to hang out with. But yes, congrats to my gals. Looking forward to seeing what they do. The NXT UK stuff's really solid right now. They got a real solid roster. Killer Kelly, super fun. Isla Dawn, great up and comer. Millie McKenzie, another great up and comer. Zaya Brookside, 19 years old. Crushing it. Like, she is absolutely phenomenal. Of course, Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, my girl Dakota, who keeps kind of floating between the two. She does regular NXT and she also does NXT UK. Great women's division on both shows. This is going to be great stuff for sure. And then, of course, we closed off NXT. It was my boy Pete Dunn defending his championship, over 600 days as champion already, going against Joe Coffey. Great match, really good storytelling in the ring, contrasting styles. I always love when like British strong style guys fight, but it was really like more like a striking style versus a grappling submission style, which I really like. I like both of those styles. They worked very well in the ring. Pete Dunn managed to get the win once more, and then right after that, Walter, the big Dutch destroyer. Haven't really seen a lot of him, but I know that he's a very well enjoyed European wrestler. Strikes a lot of fear into people's hearts, puts on great matches. He came down and they had a stare down, so that's going to be Pete Dunn's next challenger for sure. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool, strongly recommend it. Great event. The crowd made it even better. Great way to start the year off for sure. All right, and we are going to close off the show with what everybody's been talking about. AEW had their official press conference. A couple things. Not a great press conference. Audio was kind of the camera work was kind of good, but it's a parking lot. It's a parking lot press conference. Nothing really fancy about that. The main point of this was them to announce that their first show, Double or Nothing, is going to be taking place in May in Las Vegas. They are still in talks to get a TV deal, but there is talks that they are going to be on the Turner Network, which is where WCW used to be, where TNA, all that stuff. So there's talks in that. And you know what? The thing is, this show has a lot of money behind it. Like I said, they have an NFL team owner backing up. That's a lot of cash. So like I'm going to be very excited to actually see what these guys can do in regards to the way it's going to be shown on TV in regards to their pay-per-views. Because said the roster they've already signed is very strong. Like I said, they've signed, of course, Cody Rhodes, Brandy Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page has been signed, Britt Baker. Some of the new signees that they had in there, Penelope Ford was one of the names that they announced. Pac, Neville, like That was huge. There's one thing I've come to the conclusion that I don't think he actually owns clothes. It just every single time I see him at a press conference or an event, he's always in his wrestling gear. He's always looking to fight, always ready to fight. And even there, he showed up in the parking lot in his wrestling gear. Cool for him. But the big talk, the big name that they announced, without a doubt, was, of course, my man, my homeboy, my hometown hero, Chris Jericho, has signed with AEW, which is huge news. Like I said, he's essentially, in my opinion, in like Terry Funk territory right now. Like I said, he's an older guy that still does phenomenally well in the ring. A lot of the young guys, like I said, at the last Wrestle Kingdom show, after all the young guys' matches, they went backstage and like talked with Chris Jericho, like saying, "Okay, what can I do better? How'd you like that? Like what should I do?" Like I said, he's really taking on a great mentor role, and I think that's really important for an up and coming new league that's going to be signing a lot of younger guys to have like the vet like Chris Jericho in there as kind of the foreseer, kind of like the guy that's kind of gonna. He's going to be the locker room leader. He's going to be the ring general. He's going to be the guy that's helping book. He's going to be the guy that's giving all these great pointing advices. I don't see him winning a lot. I see him lying down a lot for a lot of the young guys to give them like that push that they need. But huge signing without a doubt. This is as big can get, especially for a young up and coming company, for sure. But then there's a lot of people out there. Well, does this hurt his chances to be in like the WWE Hall of Fame? What does Vince think about it? Vince doesn't care about this. Him and Vince McMahon are in such good terms with each other that Chris Jericho could like go down to Stamford, Connecticut, and like torch the entire WWE headquarters, and he'd still be on great terms with Vince McMahon. Does it kind of hinder things a little bit? Well, yeah. Like I don't see Chris Jericho getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in the next little while because he's still actively wrestling. WWE Hall of Fame is usually kind of reserved for people who are retired, and like I guarantee once Chris Jericho does retire, he'll make it in there, guaranteed. I don't see him having bad terms in regards to it. Like he's not in bad terms with Vince. He probably even talked to Vince about it, and Vince gave him his blessing. Chris Jericho, I think, is just the perfect example of what AEW needs for sure. I'm super excited to see what AEW is going to be able to offer. So far, they got a stacked roster. Really looking forward to some of the matches that they're going to put on, and they're going to be fun. And especially if they manage to secure a TV deal, that's going to be huge. One of my favorite podcasts that I listen to, the M.P.M.M podcast, they're very smart in regards to like broadcasting, TV, radio. They said like the way it works is that there's groups, and even like when I was in broadcasting school, I learned about there's 3 tiers of fandom. There's your P1s, very low-hanging fruit, very easy to get to. There's a lot. There's not a lot of us. Like a P1 is a die-hard wrestling fan. They said statistically there's probably only about 300,000 in the world. These are the guys that will watch anything wrestling. They follow all the indie shows. They watch all the pay-per-views. They don't miss anything. They listen to all the dirt sheets. They watch the wrestling. They do like all the podcasts. Like they live and breathe wrestling. Very easy to get attention. Like these guys are already going to be watching AEW, hands down. Your P2s are the guys and gals that kind of watch casually. Like they watched a lot when they were like younger, like like Attitude Era. Prior to that, if they happen to be channel surfing and they see something that they like, oh well, I remember this. I'll kind of check this out. But they'll be kind of like watching it a little bit. They're not going to be fully invested into it. And then your P3s. Millions and millions of viewers out there. They're the ones that might stop by every now and then and stop to watch it. Like, if they hear like, oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin, okay, I'll check that out. Oh, Chris Jericho, I remember that guy. I'll check this out, kind of thing. So the fans that are going to generate the most revenue said there's so little of us. So the key is you want to try to grab those P2s and you want to try to grab those P3s in. And that's really tricky because those are the highest demographic, but they're also not the ones that are going to be paying the most attention to it. I guess it's... so they said the biggest key with AEW is going to be to try to like clinch in those older school guys that don't really watch the current product. And a TV deal is exactly what you need. Like TV... That's the way the medium works today. Like I said, not a lot of people see things outside of television. Like if there wasn't like wrestling on TV, I wouldn't know what's going on really. Like I might try to catch like an audio show. But no, like TV is the main thing right now. TV is the make all, break all, especially in regards to something where you have to visually see it. Like I said, you can listen to a football game on the radio and you'll still kind of know what's going on. You can listen to a hockey game on the radio and you'll know what's going on. Wrestling is a visual. You have to see what's going on to really appreciate it. Yes, you can turn off the screen and just listen to the commentary and it's great, but I think wrestling is just a lot better if you watch it and you can see it. So yeah, that TV deal is going to be very key for AEW success. Are they going to break millions in the first year? Probably not. But I guarantee probably within the first 2 years, they're probably going to be WWE's biggest competition for sure. And it all starts right here. I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably going to buy a t-shirt or all that stuff. And Twitch, yeah, Twitch is another great example. Twitch doing the whole online thing really makes it a lot easy for people to see. The biggest problem with WCW, even though people were watching it on TV, their expenses. They did not know how to control their expenses. Yes, they had people watching, but unfortunately just their markdown just did not work very well. Yeah, like they were able to get, like I said, ballpark 500,000 people to watch every week, which is still pretty good. Unfortunately, they weren't selling merchandise, they weren't selling the pay-per-views properly, so like all that extra income that they could get, unfortunately, people weren't doing it. And that's the thing. Ridiculous, ludicrous contracts. A lot of those wrestlers were making way more than they deserved and way too much creative control. A lot of them just, they weren't able to give the writers proper ways to build them. Like, there was too many me's, too many me, and not enough joint union to get progressive storylines. It was always the same thing over and over and over again. Who knows? The Bucks are pretty young, so they might not get it. I don't see Jericho, because I've seen what Jericho can do with creative control, and he's very, very pro helping the younger guys out. So I don't think Jericho will go crazy with creative control, but the Bucks, possibly. They're still pretty young guys, so who knows what's going to go. I'm still going to give them a big chance for sure, though, and I'm really excited about that. Some other names that might get signed, who knows, but there's a lot of free agents going on in the world right now. There's a lot of free agents. A lot of people's contracts are ending with New Japan. A lot of people's contracts are ending with WWE. And a lot of people's contracts are ending with Impact. So, who knows what is going to happen. But either way, I'm stoked for this. I think it's going to be great. I like my coffee. Alright, so what do you guys think about AEW? Who do you guys think else is going to jump ship over to the new brand? Let me know in that comment section below. And with that, we are going to sign off for this week. Yeah, like I said, if you guys like what you saw, make sure to crush that like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell notification for whenever we go live. As always, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, we are live here on the YouTube, shooting out our love, shooting out our crazy good stuff. And yeah, and make sure to hit that bell notification. Make sure to hit subscribe for all the times that we go live. Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time, and Wednesday nights after NXT. Alright, that is all from me on this wonderful day. I hope your guys' weekend was great. We all go back to work tomorrow, but JP, you work retail. You never get a day off. Exactly. And if you guys haven't done so already, check out that Facebook page and that Twitter account. That is all for me tonight. I will see you guys this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, immediately following NXT. We're entering NXT TakeOver Phoenix season. We got a lot of great storylines to wrap up in the next 2 weeks, and it's sad because I will no longer have my Nikki Cross to watch. But I believe Lacey Evans' last match is coming up in the next 2 weeks, and the Heavy Machinery's last match is coming up as well, from what I've been hearing. All right. Good night, everybody. You guys are amazing. Have a great night, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Take care.